Hi everyone, and welcome to the introduction to Seesaw. My name is Lana Peterson again. I'm from the same first person from the same video, research practice partner with Austin Public Schools. And I just want to stop before we begin. I want to make sure that you have your Seesaw login. This presentation is not going to be covering how to log into Seesaw. It assumes that you've already established that. So if you have not logged into Seesaw, or if you haven't logged in a while, you should try that. And I say you should log into Seesaw with your Austin Public Schools email. Now, if you try to log into Seesaw, maybe try the forgot password button, and it says that your email doesn't exist. Instead of signing up with your Austin Public Schools email, you should contact Corey Haugen about that. But it could be a matter of just that you forgot your password. And then in that case, make sure you're checking your spam mail in your inbox, because sometimes the Seesaw mail gets stuck in there. So in this presentation, we're going to talk about what is Seesaw, other than playground equipment. Funny. And the core features of Seesaw and why we would use this technology to help us deliver distance learning. So we're going to talk about Seesaw today, and it connects to the Distance Learning 2.0 model, and that this will be where the whole group daily lessons and content and student work will be kept. All right, here we have Seesaw, and this is a test class in Seesaw. If you are a classroom teacher, your students will already be populated for you. Corey Haugen in the district office did that for you. If you are missing a student, contact Corey Haugen. Please do not add them. This is what you will see when you log in. It's kind of the home dashboard. And the first thing that you're going to see is the journal. You see it's highlighted right here, and I'm seeing a post from my student Jaden. These are pseudonyms from my sample student, which I can't change the name of, and this is work that they did. I also see at the bottom that I have 3 unapproved posts that are not showing up here that I can look at, but we'll focus on that later. And so the journal is the default view that you will see, and right now when I click my journal, I see all of my students' work. If I wanted to see just Jaden's work, and you can see here his name, how many items he has uploaded, and when he uploaded those things, I could click on his name. And so I'm clicking into the Jaden file, and I just see the one post by Jaden. And this is his flower. I can like his post. I can leave a text comment. Great post, Jaden. I could also leave a verbal audio comment. I would just click the button to record. Wow, Jaden, this is an amazing flower. Thank you for posting. I pause. I can re-listen to that. I can start again by pressing the garbage. I can add more, or I can just approve. So there's a voice. So that's the great part about Seesaw, is that Seesaw is a creation platform, and you don't necessarily need to know how to read and write in order to use it. Everything can be verbal. We'll talk about some of these other things at the bottom in a second, but so I can click on the individual students to see their items. I can also see items posted by calendar, so browse by date. And so I could see, I want to see everything that was posted on Monday because I released an activity on Monday and I want to see what happened. So that is 2 different ways you can see what's happening in the journal. The journal is the default view. So I mentioned before, I have 3 unapproved posts, and for anybody who doesn't like notifications on their screen, that was probably driving you crazy. So let's go to review. And you can choose, and I'll show you how to do this later, if you want to review every post. So you need to approve every post before it goes up on a student journal, or if you want the students to be able to just put it up on their own. And you can go here and approve one by one. If it was an activity, which we'll talk about, you can actually send the journal post back if you didn't get the type of work that you were looking for. We will talk about that more in the next session on activities, but I'm just going to prove this here. You also see at the bottom, if you don't want to go by one, you can actually just press approve all. That can save you a lot of time as well. There we go. Now, you might already be feeling like that was way too fast and you need a second. I encourage you to take a moment to pause. You can pause this video at any moment. If you start to feel frazzled, just pause the video and take a breath. There's a balance between going too incredibly slow while you're showing a tech overview and then too fast. And so I will insert some pauses after each tool is introduced. At any point, Jaden or any of my other students could post on their learning journal by responding to an activity, which we'll cover in a second, or they always just, you go up to this ad here, and then you can write, and then they would write post student work. So this is the same thing that they would see. And they have a choice, photo, drawing, video, link, note, or upload. And actually it's a little bit broader than that once you dive in here. And so here are the tools that are at the disposal. And we're going to talk more about these tools in the next activity, but we can type. And feel free to follow along and open an activity and do the same that I'm doing and use some of these tools and play around. The best way to learn them is just by playing with them. I can add a photo. I can either take a photo of myself, my best work, and I can make this smaller, move it around if I want to. I could take a video similar to how I've just taken a photo. I could upload something from my computer. So I will upload this picture of books that I got from Google. Back here I can play with shapes. So maybe I'm going to add a star. And I will change this. Maybe I want to change the direction. I can change the color of the background. Maybe I want to do a rainbow. Now we really got a lot going on here. And I can also add a link. So maybe I want, maybe I'm studying something specific and I want to send them to kids, National Geographic. Maybe we're studying animals, or maybe I found a cool article about space. And I can actually add a link in there. Notice you get a little preview of that front page, but this is actually that link that you can click on at any time. I can add a caption for my post. This is my fun rainbow post. I could add a voice caption as well. And another really cool thing, well, of course we can use pens and we can change the color for our pen over here on the side. Here's a different type of, like, more of a marker style pen. Here is a highlighter. So if I ever wanted to highlight something I had typed, this is like a fun highlighter right here. And then maybe there's an eraser. I want to erase something. And then I'm here on eraser and I want to reach back. I want to grab an item that I've already posted. I need to click this little finger here. That allows me to touch stuff again. I'm going a little crazy with the features, but so should you. I hope that you have a post open that you can play with and that you can draw and just experience all the tools and don't feel any pressure to design anything big, but just see how pretty and colorful and interesting you can make something as you go. So another really cool thing that is part of the post is that when I press record, not only is it going to start recording my voice, but it's going to record everything that I do on the screen. So if I want to talk through my learning with the teacher and I maybe want to do a math problem for my teacher, and I'm going to say 4 plus 4 equals 21, right, teacher? Then once I stop this video and I press done, so even though I pressed the microphone, it looked like I was just recording audio. It recorded everything that was happening on the screen. Voice, but it's going to record everything that I do on the screen. So if I want to talk through my learning with the teacher and I maybe want to do a math problem for my teacher, and so you see that. And so I can actually make this, I can make this video smaller. So I recorded my screen, I recorded me doing things on my screen, and I can actually embed that recording right on my page. Now this page is getting a little crazy. Maybe it was crazy a little while ago, and I can actually add another page. And so when you hear that phrase multi-page on Seesaw, it's because before on Seesaw, you could really only do one page. And frankly, you couldn't put this many things on a page. You can put as many pictures, as many links. You can only embed one video at a time, but you can pretty much go wild, which gets a little nutty. So anyways, I can press draft if I want to come back to this, or I can press the check mark, and I will post this under Jaden's work. Normally, Jaden would be logged in and doing his own thing. But I can also send a post directly to a student. If I want to send a message directly to a student, I could post it straight to their journal. But really the best place to post that would be activities. We're going to talk briefly about activities because activity is the presentation, the whole presentation that's next. All right, so now you see that I'm on the activities tab. See how it's highlighted here? Before the journal was what was highlighted, now the activities is highlighted. So what you see along the side is my activities that I have already assigned to students. And also below you could see scheduled ones. If you want to assign an activity, but you want to like send them all out for the week, but you don't want them to actually get delivered until a certain day, you can deliver them. And then you can archive them when you're done having them show up in your feed and in the students' feeds. And so to create an activity, you would go to that similar plus mark up on the top, and then you click on Assign Activity. And from here, is my library. Doesn't mean that I've created all these things, because you can actually add other people's work to your library. So, rude. You see that I have a lesson from Miss Gogolewski, I have a lesson from Miss Learn, I have a lesson from Miss Kalkman that I've saved to my library. I can search my school and district for lessons. And I can also search the larger community. So you can publish activities or grab activities from anywhere in the world, from anyone. And some cool things is you can see how many people have liked that activity. And I definitely say that more fruitful activities are liked more. And then you can also search the activity by grade level and by subject, or if you want to search something specifically. Again, we're going to be talking about how to create activity in the next big presentation, so I'm not going to go too deep here. But I would say create a new activity. You're going to need a title. You're going to need some instructions for students. We'll talk about that more. And then this is where you'd actually upload that template, that multi-page template that you would want students to add. One thing I will say over and over again, you always want to add voice instructions. We have a lot of non-readers. We have a lot of English as a second language. So adding that voice instruction, it should be an always do. So I'm just going to quickly show you if I said test activity, I'm going to just zoom through this and say test activity. I'm not even going to add anything here. I'm just going to, again, write test activity. You see the same multi-page piece I can have there. And then I'm just going to press save. Here it is. And here is where I can assign it to my test class. So I can assign to that whole class. And then I'll view the activity in my test class. And so this is what it looks like on my end. It was assigned to all students. I don't have any responses right now because I just sent it out. Not waiting to approve nobody's drafted to have not responded. You can always delete this activity, you can edit the activity, and you can also edit what folder you want it to be in. So if I was looking for an activity that 2 did have responses, I could click on it and you'd see the student's name and then you see their response. And then here it's blank because Sarah has not yet responded to that. That's all I'm going to talk about activities. Please watch my next session on activities. Next we have inbox. You can send out student announcements. This goes to all students. It's a little message that they will get in their inbox. I can say, all students, hi, hope you are having a good day. And then send it now. They cannot respond to you. You can do the same by sending messages to families. Of course, you need to invite the families first. That will be a whole nother presentation as well. And then these are just notifications. This will be if you have work to approve or if you have messages back to you from families. Next, we're going to talk about skills. And skills is a way that you could approach your grading if you wanted to. You can actually tag different student work with skills. And so you click on this little graduation cap right here. And then from here, you could, these are skills that I've already had tagged, that I've already uploaded. And so I could give a 4 out of 4 stars, or I could upload a whole new skill. Maybe you have your ELOs uploaded here, or maybe some other outcomes or grading outcomes that you're looking for. This is where you would upload that information, and then it will sit in your skill library here, and then you could quickly give students, tag that information. The class settings. So I currently have a test class. You can change the name, Mrs. Peterson's class. Can go back. You can change. I wouldn't mess with too much of this stuff as Corey Haugens kind of set that up prior. You can add teachers if you want to, so you can add other teachers in the district. This would be great for specialists, for EL, and for SPED to be co-teachers on your class. You could change the theme, the color. You can change the icon, or you can upload an image, and this everyone can see. You can change the way, again, I wouldn't manage students. I'd have Corey do that. We'll talk about home learning student codes. Student comments and likes. You can enable students to like each other's work. You can enable them to be able to comment on each other's work, or those comments could require approval from you. That's a lot of work to approve student comments, and it's a lot of scaffolding to allow students to be successful commenting and liking on each other's posts, but there is a lot of great benefits to that. This toggle is whether you want students to see each other's work and whether you want that whole process I went, whether you want new items to require your approval. Maybe you just want them to post and you're not worried about it. Some people get nervous because families can see everything their student posts, but families should see everything their student posts. Whether you want people to be able to go back and edit their items that they've already posted. And then we'll talk about this later. This is a whole presentation. Enabling family access will be core for a distance learning model. But we're not going to focus on that today. And then enabling that class blog. If I wanted to turn off that sample student that I couldn't change the name of, here's where I would turn that off. If you want to manage folders. So haven't talked about folders yet, but you can create a folder. And maybe I want to say let's see, math assignments. It's another way to just quickly tag things that you would like to tag within Seesaw, and I can show you how that works. And whether, let's just skip that. So I just created a folder, and here's where you see that folder icon. Maybe this was a math assignment, and I want to tag it for math assignment so I can find it quickly later. The last thing to show you is the home learning codes, which will be crucial if we went distance learning. This says get home learning codes. And I would go down to my test class or Miss Peterson's class, and I'd actually print the codes, and it creates a PDF that I can either print or send to parents, but it shows them how to find app, how to download the Seesaw app, click my student, and then use this, essentially it's a password for them, or they could scan the code as well to get into their class. And so this would be how Jaden would know how to get to their home learning code when they're not with you, or how to get to Seesaw, I should say. That's all I'm going to cover today for the introduction to Seesaw. I think that's enough to get your brain swirling and playing if you haven't used Seesaw in the past. And please check out my next video on assignments within Seesaw.